Woodmizers. We got the utility trailer behind me with the zero-turn mower, and got the 2000 pickup truck pulling it. So this will be the first time mowing the property this year. So in the past we've been using the bush hog to mow just on the weekends whenever we get over there. Well, with the other projects we got going, like a hilltop, we haven't been making it over there as much. So kind of twofold. One, not to spend as much time mowing with the 2150 and a bush hog. Gonna take the zero turn over and mow with it. And then also, I'm doing this on a weekday. Also helps free up some time on the weekend so we can work on some other projects while we're there. So kind of twofold on why we're doing it, or why I'm doing this. This will be the first time with the zero turn doing it. Like I said, normally use the bush hog, so I'm guessing the ground's gonna be pretty bumpy. Definitely in a zero turn. It's typically a little bit rougher anyway, and then having bush hogged it with the tractor before, and it's kind of one of the main paths we have to use to get across, or stand in the front. So it's gonna be bumpy and a little rough, but we'll see how it is, and then maybe this summer we can start fixing it up a little bit. But the other thing is there's a spot kind of next to the pond on the dam that seems to leak a little bit, or at least has water that comes up if it's been wet. And the ground's finally starting to dry out a little bit, but it's definitely been wet. So there may be some standing water there. In that case, I can't mow that area, and then definitely with the zero turn, don't want to get stuck. So ends up leaving a little bit more weeding that I have to do to weed that section. So along with the zero turn, I also have a Stihl weeder that I use to maintain the ditches and everything, and then any spots that I can't strictly mow. You watch the Schmitter's Kubota Army, which I'll put a link to up here. This machine was one of the ones that was missing because the battery wouldn't start on that day. Through this machine and some of its features and when I bought it and all that. So I'll do a kind of quick review of it later in this video. Alright, so taking a quick break from mowing here, we got this front part done. I'm going to go up to the home site, see if I can't get that. There's a spot here that I should be able to mow, and then some spots back that direction. Try to catch everything I can with this zero turn, but so things kind of dusty. Even though there's a section up that direction that's pretty wet, from the pond pushing water out, all this is pretty dry and dusty. If you watch the Schmitter's Kubota Army, this one wasn't featured in the lineup because it wouldn't start from sitting in the winter. But basically it's a Kubota 421 a Z421 Commander Pro. It's got a 60-inch deck, a Kawasaki engine. I believe it's a 24 horsepower. It's pretty rough on on rough ground, just because you're sitting right on the axle, but it does a really good job mowing. So even this that was really rough ground looks pretty good after it's been mowed up. So one of the things that I added to it was a adjustable spring seat. So it's just a low profile suspension seat that bolts to the underside of this one. So it does add a little bit of extra cushion. Then kind of looking through here, so on the side, so you get your key, you can set your deck height. So these aren't measured in inches, but it's just kind of a form of measurement to be able to get that. And of course your choke, throttle, and then your PTO start for the deck. And then something on this that's a little bit different is your parking brake. So you have it disengaged and it's engaged, and then if you push this button in here, it locks it. So it can be done with one foot. So if you kind of push it in and then roll your foot to that, it will engage. And then you have your deck lift here. So it's a nice foot operated one. So it's got a catch right there to hold the deck up. And then if you push it past, it'll go lower. So pretty standard zero turn stuff. Over here you have a spot just to cubby the whole thing. So for the plastic chute, has have a bungee there, nice big cup holder, spot to put your phone. There's a 12-volt outlet here if you need to charge your phone. Fairly standard zero turn, but this is a I bought it in 2019, so I've had it for several years now. It's before mowing with a garden tractor with like a 48 or 54 inch deck. Took a lot longer, and then of course with the garden tractor just not being able to travel very fast or turn succinctly made it much more challenging. So this was a purchase that I liked because could mow the grass at the homestead, but then also be able to come over here and do this. And like I said, this is really the first time I've come over and done it here. Part of it was not having a trailer to get it over here easily, and just having the time to do it. So anyway, it's kind of just a walkthrough of the mower. It's with this Kawasaki engine, it's pretty easy on gas, so it's not too bad. And it's got about a 7-gallon tank, so I can typically go, if I'm just doing at the homestead, which takes about an hour, and then here I'll probably have an hour or two in it. I can typically go about a month filling it up and get about a month's, so 3 to 4 weeks of mowing out of it. So I'm gonna start going to some other spots and mowing up at the homestead, and just other spots I can get mowed down today. And then I'll be switching over to the weed eater and getting the wet spots, and then getting up along the Alright, so after I got done mowing all around the property, went ahead and switched over to weeding. So there's this kind of a French drain that we put in here on the bottom side of this dam, the pond. It currently holds the water, so it's not mowable with the zero turn, so just got the weeder out to finish that up. And once I got done weeding there, up by the road there's a ditch that the water from the pond flows in, so just weeding along there to get it cleaned up nicely. So this is on the right hand side of the drive, and then here on the left hand side of the drive, just cleaning up. There's about 1,300 feet of road frontage, but just kind of keep this maintained at all times, and then just do the other parts a few times a year. And then while I was over at the property, went ahead and loaded up the back of the truck with some firewood. So here, just getting mostly sycamore wood that we had cut up. So there I'm using the hookaroon to kind of help pick up some of the wood. And then once I get most of the sycamore in, I go ahead and pick up some of the red oak logs and just fill them. Don't get overly carried away filling it up since I still need to put in the weeder, but able to get a good amount of wood to work on splitting. So thank you for watching the Smithers 100 Acre Woods. We'll catch you next time.